Message is that I'm fortunate enough to have a conversation with you, and the questions you have asked, I have never ever encountered such questions in my entire life, and I am I'm thrilled to have a conversation like this, and I would love to have a conversation with you in future you if you find it intriguing to have a conversation with me. It was a wonderful time to be with you.
Absolutely, this session was really incredible, and I also have realized that you are a very interesting person. You seem to have a very interesting personality. Also, you can articulate your thoughts very clearly. You seem like a very intelligent person, and again, I would repeat the same thing that I don't agree with what you were saying about yourself being mediocre or something like that. I think that you are an exceptional person with exceptional skills, and your orating skills are really commendable. I mean, you are really speaking in a very eloquent manner. So I'm really impressed by your way of speaking. And sure, I would love to have another conversation with you as well. In the next conversation, we can decide any specific topic and we can
Sure,
discuss that particular
sure.
topic. Okay. So, how are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Yes, I'm great as well. So, can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. My name is Sunil. I'm from Delhi. Talking about my education, I'm a graduate. When it comes to my hobby, I like to listen to music. That's it.
Mm-hmm. That's nice. So, how did you come across my channel, by the way?
Actually, these days I use YouTube. I'm also a
Mm-hmm.
YouTuber. There I was watching some of the videos. So abruptly I came across one of your videos. There I got to know, okay, you are also a YouTuber. Then I thought, okay, let's try to have a conversation with you.
Okay, that's great. So, is this your first conversation?
With you or
I
using this
mean,
application?
yeah, I mean, in general.
No, I guess this is going to be the third time I'm going to have a conversation like this using
Mm-hmm.
this application.
Okay, so it means that you have had sessions with other people before as well, right?
Yes, right.
Okay, that's nice. So, are you like comfortable with being in front of the camera?
Initially, I feel like a fish out of water, but after 5 minutes or after 6 minutes, I gain a lot of confidence and then things go very okay.
Okay. By the way, your communication skill seems to be really good already.
Thank you. I guess it is because I give English spoken classes. I have already been an English teacher.
Wow, that's great. So, for how long have you been learning English?
I have been learning English for a very long time, and I feel that till I'm alive, I'm going to learn this language.
Mm-hmm. And what's your channel is about?
It's only about English related videos. I
Okay.
upload videos which are based on English, yes.
Mm-hmm. So, like, what kind of videos do you make? Like, do you also put yourself in the videos
Yes,
or
I do.
not?
Yes.
Okay.
If I talk about my channel, so I have uploaded more or less 200 videos on my channel. And
Mm-hmm.
here I have varieties of videos. Some videos
Mm-hmm.
are based on grammar lessons. Some videos
Mm-hmm.
are for pronunciation. Some videos are for vocabulary. And these days,
Mm-hmm.
I also do one thing that I also take sessions with English Yari tutors. So those sessions also go to my YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm. That's great. So, how did you find out about English Yari, and for how long have you been using it?
Same goes with English Yari. I'm very much into using YouTube. Whatever I
Mm-hmm.
come across, if I find that thing scintillating, I just become curious to know, okay, how it works and how I can get a chance to talk to these people. So this
Mm-hmm.
is one of the reasons. And my experience with English Yari has been wonderful. I have been with
Mm-hmm.
them for almost 3 months.
Okay, that's great. So, what else do you like to do in your leisure time?
These days, I like to make interesting videos. I'm very much busy with finding the content for my videos. In my
Mm-hmm.
leisure time, I like to slumber.
Oh, okay, that's nice. Would you like to stick to the same content on your channel? I mean, English related video, or would you like to change the content of your YouTube maybe after a while, if you get the chance?
It utterly depends that as long as I'm capable of making the same videos which are based on English, if I feel
Mm-hmm.
okay, channel is not doing well, if I feel okay, I'm able to go with another content. There I might
Mm-hmm.
go with that. Else I'll stick.
Okay, that's great. How many views do you usually get?
On average, I get very few views, which sometimes I feel a bit shy to tell.
Okay, no problem. I mean, it happens with everyone, and I think
Yes.
with the passage of time, your channel grows, so it's a normal thing.
Mhm. But I don't feel like telling this to anyone.
Does people, I mean, your relatives or people around you know about your YouTube channel, or have you kept it a secret?
No. Everyone knows about it.
Do you get extra importance because of your YouTube channel by your relatives or friends?
I do not get any extra importance from my relatives now, but I know that one day that would happen for certain, but not now.
Wow, that's really great. I really like your belief in yourself because usually what happens is that people, when they make a YouTube channel or whenever they start something new, they start doubting themselves that no, it's not gonna happen and this and that. But it's really great that you have this unwavering faith that one day people will see your potential. It's so great. So, how did you become this positive person?
I was not like this since my birth, but I have brought a lot of changes in me.
Mm-hmm.
First thing is that the moment I started watching videos on YouTube, from there I
Mm-hmm.
got a lot of inspiration, and I have seen a lot of people where they started everything with very small, like everything from basic,
Hmm.
and it took them almost 4 years or 5 years to come to a level where they are right now. Same, I apply this in my life, and I know that it is going to take a lot of efforts, it is going to take a lot of time, and I also have to have the patience of a saint. So I know that it will happen, but it's a very long process.
Hmm, that's very true. So, how do you keep yourself motivated if things don't go according to your plan?
If things go according to me, it gives me a great amount of pleasure. I love doing what I'm doing. But if
Hmm.
things do not happen according to me, I talk to myself,
Hmm.
I go for retrospection, or I also go for introspection. And then
Hmm.
I realize, okay, these were the things I have to correct. And I always learn from my mistakes. That's how I keep myself motivated.
Yeah, that's very true. There are no regrets, only lessons learned. So, whatever mistakes you are making in your life, they are eventually teaching you something and making you more wiser, helping you to gain more wisdom in reality, right? This happens with me as well. When I was younger, at that time, whenever I used to look at my past mistakes, I would feel like that, oh, in retrospect, I should have done that instead of doing that. So I would always regret. But with the passage of time, I kind of realized that everything happened in order to make me a better version of myself.
Yes,
When
correct.
you start thinking that way, when you start thinking in that way, you feel a sense of liberation, and at the same time, you also realize the fact that you have grown as an individual, which is really amazing, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So tell me more about yourself. What kind of conversations do you like to get engaged in? What kind of topics are you interested in?
I always like to have the conversation about journal questions. When people ask about myself and when I'm able to ask questions from people about their personal life or what's happening or how they work on their YouTube channel and how they improve their communication skills. So
Mm-hmm.
these type of thing I like to do.
Okay, all right. So do you like to get engaged into like an intellectual conversations or something like that?
It depends what it is about. And
Mm-hmm.
one thing that I detest is that I never like to talk about politics.
Hmm. I can totally relate to that because whenever someone brings up the topic of politics, it just always, makes me uneasy, and I always just end up changing it. Also, I don't like to talk about sports for some strange reasons. I'm not a huge fan of sports. So you probably won't agree with me, but I just really get bored when someone brings up the topic of sports. So tell me that what kind of lessons do you give in your class?
Lessons, like I have plans or I have the things which I follow whenever I am at my institute.
Mm-hmm.
I always start teaching with tenses. After tenses, I teach modals. After modals, if I feel my students need to go for conversation, they need to practice whatever they have learned so far. They lack grammar, then I teach grammar. Like I teach them articles, I teach them nouns.
Mm-hmm.
I always teach very slowly. First,
Mm-hmm.
I teach, we practice that almost for a week. After that, when I
Mm-hmm.
feel they have got a good command of that, then I jump to the other topic.
Okay, that's nice. That's a great way of teaching, I guess. So, do you teach English as a language or as a subject?
I do not give classes for academic. I
Mm-hmm.
give English spoken classes.
English is spoken class. Okay, that's great. I also teach English. I'm a language trainer, and I've recently started it. Initially, it was quite nerve-wracking because when all these students who are older than you looking at you, and you have to, teach them, it can be quite, unnerving. But with the passage of time, I eventually got the hang of it.
Yes.
Um, yeah. So, if I ask you some hypothetical questions, would you be interested in it?
Yes, if I know, I would love to answer.
Okay. So if you get the chance to go back in the past, what would you do?
I would try to study more because in my past or when I was a student, I did not
Mm-hmm.
focus on studies. Now I regret that.
Oh, really? But
Yes.
you seem like a very studious person, honestly speaking.
I became studious after doing graduation. Then I realized, okay, it is very important to be brainy. That's
Mm-hmm.
how I became like this. And I always consider myself a mediocre person, or sometimes I consider myself obtuse.
I
But
beg to differ with you seem like
no,
a very studious.
you can doubt it because the way I'm speaking, it does not seem I would be a mediocre person. But
Yeah.
there is a lot of hard work behind it.
Yeah. So if you had to put efforts into it or if you did hard work, so that simply means that you're not a mediocre person. Because someone who is mediocre, that person does not put in that much efforts, right?
No, I have a different definition for this. That I consider myself an average person because there are some people when they study, they understand that particular thing in one go. For me, it takes a lot of efforts to understand that. Same goes with the teaching. If I want to teach anything, first I
Mm-hmm.
study the topic, and then I have some of the examples when I go to my class. There at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning, as I said initially, I have a lot of pressure. I feel like a
Mm-hmm.
cat on the hot bricks. But after some time, I have my own ways, and then, as you said, that I also get the hang of that particular thing.
Hmm.
That's
Okay.
why I
So,
consider myself average. Yes.
okay. So you take a little bit more time in understanding any topic,
Right.
right?
Right.
As it's,
Yes. Yes. I could not
uh,
agree more
but
to that.
that's something that you're not naturally born with, right? That's something that you're naturally born with, and you cannot help it, right? And still, you are working very hard. I mean, I'm sure that if there was another person who was not that much interested in his studies, that person probably would have given up on studies, and he wouldn't have worked that hard for it. So it's great that you're a very hardworking person, which is
Yes, I
clear
am.
from your personality. Okay, my next question is that if you could go in the future, what would you like to do?
In the future, if I went in the future, I would like to make big bucks. I would like to have a lot of expensive cars, and I would like to have a mansion for myself.
But you can do that in the present as well,
I can
right?
do, but I am
So
working very
what
hard. That is present, but
makes you
whatever
think that
I
in
am
the
going to have. Mhm, yes, you were saying something.
Yeah, I was just asking you that what makes you think that you will be able to do that in the future?
My hard work and the way I study, the way I teach, the knowledge I have, or the way I update my knowledge, it makes
Mhm.
me believe that everything is going to be viable.
But you can do that in the present as well, because if you work hard, then you'll get all these things that you desire to get, right?
Yes, yes, I see eye to eye with that. But if I work hard right now, that is
Mm-hmm.
to result me in the future,
Mm-hmm.
after
Okay.
5 years, after 6 years, or after a decade.
Yeah, okay. But I was asking in a different sense. Like, for example, suppose that if you could go in the future in like, 2050 or 2060, and then you could come back in the present, what would you
Mhm.
do? If you could go in the future for only one day, what would you do in that one day?
All right.
Yeah.
So if I get a chance to go to future in 2016, as you said, so I would like to decrease
2060.
my age first. I would like to stay young.
Mm-hmm. Okay. For example, if I ever get the chance to go in future, I would like to observe everything. I will observe the technological advancements, that how much technology has made progress. And apart from that, I will, observe everything. I will also read the history, that what kind of events took place in the past, like in 2040 or 41 or this and that. And then when I come back in this present, I will tell people about it. I'll tell people that, hey, I know about future. I know what's going to happen, what kind of technologies are going to be there. So I think that will be more fun, right?
Yes, right. But it's up to your interest. My interest would not be knowing history. My interest would not be in knowing technology. I
Yeah, yeah,
would take extra care of myself. I would
yeah,
only
yeah.
concern about myself
Yeah,
being in
I
the
totally
future.
like I was telling you about from my perspective that for me
Right,
it will
right.
be to
Yes.
to research about history and things like that. So if you could become invisible for one day, what would you do? What would be the first thing that you would do?
Okay, if I become invisible, I would like to scare my enemies. I would like to scare my friends. I would like to play pranks with them.
Okay, how would you do that?
That if I become invisible, I feel that I'm going to become an alchemist. I would become a sorcerer. So I would play some magic with them, and that's how. And after next day or after that particular day, I'll tell them that it was I who was doing this.
So you will scare them, right?
Yes, I would scare them. I would do things which they would never ever expect to happen.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so tell me that if you could have one superpower, which superpower would you like to have? Teleportation, telepathy, telekinesis, or flying?
Okay, I don't know rest of them. I would go for flying.
Flying. Okay, so what would you do? Where would you fly to?
Okay, so if I got a chance to fly, I would like to fly to Kashmir.
Oh, great. Nice. Okay. Okay. So tell me, how much do you agree with this statement? Okay. Your thoughts attract reality, or thoughts becomes thing. Have you heard about this? Okay, okay. So let me try to explain it in some other words. Okay.
Yes.
It simply means that your thoughts begets your positive thoughts begets positive actions, and negative thoughts begets negative actions. For example, if you're constantly having positive thoughts in your mind, and if your dominant thought pattern is filled with positivity, then that's what you're going to attract in your life, lots of positivity. But if you're
Right.
constantly thinking negatively, and if you're being
Mhm.
pessimistic, then that's what you're going to experience in your real life as well. So how much do you agree with this statement?
Yes, I agree 120% with that. Yes, if we are positive, we will do positive things. If we are negative, we will not be able to concentrate on things.
Hmm. Okay. So you believe that your negative thoughts can change your life, and your positive thoughts can also change your life in a positive manner.
Yes, yes, right.
Okay, you believe that. Okay, that's great. Okay, so tell me something more about yourself, and tell me something interesting about yourself.
All right.
Something
So
that probably other people might not know about.
I don't feel I have kept anything under wraps. I usually disclose whatever I have, and whosoever knows me, they know that what kind of person I am. If I happen to tell you that what I have not disclosed so far, that I'm modest
Mm-hmm.
and I'm hardworking. I also become negative a lot. I overthink,
Okay.
and I am very picky about my looks. I do exercise. People also do exercise, but when it comes to me, I go for strenuous exercises. Despite I have a lot of pain, but
Mm-hmm.
being in a situation, I don't care. I still work very hard.
Okay, that's great. So at the end of our conversation, would you like to give any message to our viewers?
Message is that I'm fortunate enough to have a conversation with you, and the questions you have asked, I have never ever encountered such questions in my entire life, and I am I'm thrilled to have a conversation like this, and I would love to have a conversation with you in future you if you find it intriguing to have a conversation with me. It was a wonderful time to be with you.
Absolutely, this session was really incredible, and I also have realized that you are a very interesting person. You seem to have a very interesting personality. Also, you can articulate your thoughts very clearly. You seem like a very intelligent person, and again, I would repeat the same thing that I don't agree with what you were saying about yourself being mediocre or something like that. I think that you are an exceptional person with exceptional skills, and your orating skills are really commendable. I mean, you are really speaking in a very eloquent manner. So I'm really impressed by your way of speaking. And sure, I would love to have another conversation with you as well. In the next conversation, we can decide any specific topic and we can
Sure,
discuss that particular
sure.
topic. Okay?
Yes, certainly. Yes,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, so take care of yourself. Have a good day and bye.
yes, you too. Bye. Take care.